Hello and welcome back to the Homebrew review. So what we're reviewing today is Geordie Lager. Yeah, it's one of the cheaper end of the scale. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't have the can anymore, I'm afraid. This is one I brewed back in November last year. I haven't got a fresh kit of it at the moment, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I've got no kit to show you. So really, yeah, I said it's one of the cheaper ends of the market. So I thought I'd give that a go and see what it tastes like. So before I crack open a bottle, let's give you a little more information on the kit. So this is the Geordie Lager Kit. Like I said, unfortunately I've already brewed the kit up a long time ago and got rid of the tin, so I just have to do with a bottle lid for illustration purposes. Okay, yeah, this is Geordie Lager, and sugars I used was the Munton's Beer Kit Enhancer. I used 1 kilogram of that, and it's made up of 500 grams of brewing sugar and 500 grams of light malt extract. Used the standard yeast that came with the kit. The original gravity was 1.036, and the final gravity was 1.010, giving an ABV of 4% roughly. Primed it using, well, I primed it using light spray malt first of all, but that didn't do very well. It kind of just all congealed and went a bit rubbish, and the beer didn't carbonate, so unfortunately a week later I had to reopen them, put some granulated sugar in, and it seems to have done the trick, so fingers crossed on that one. So the rough price per pint, I mean the kit itself was extremely cheap, it was $9.99. Plus the beer enhancer and all that added onto that, which makes it a bit more. But yeah, the price per pint is 36p, so can't really sniff at that. So of course prices and everything, so let's see what it tastes like. Right, well hopefully that's filled you in a bit more on what we've got in store. So it's that time again to crack open a bottle. Now this is one of the official homebrew bottles I bought when I bought my kit. It looks a bit more professional than a Coke bottle or something like that, but you know, who cares at the end of the day, it will taste the same. So let's open this up. Oh, a bit of a fizz there. And let's pour it in the old glass, shall we? Oh, not too much of a head at the moment, so I'm going to tip it up and get a bit more. Here we go. Now then, let's have a look. It's reasonably clear. I mean, with these lagers you always do get what's called protein haze, where it's to do with, you know, chilling it and the reactions and all that stuff. I don't know the exact term. Google it if you want to know more. Here we go. Just shine the old torch through so you can have a better look. Here we go. So you see quite a few bubbles there. Not a huge amount of head, if I'm honest. Bit disappointing, although I did have a bit of a problem with this. At the time I thought I'd give it a go and try and prime it, which is when you bottle it and add the sugar in, with spray malt, light spray malt. Now it didn't go too well, unfortunately. It just sort of congealed and stuck to it. It was difficult to measure because it will just, the slightest bit of moisture on it just goes really sticky and adhesive, and it's a right pain to get in the bottle. So it didn't carbonate very well, so after about a week of it being in the airing cupboard trying to secondary ferment, I actually had to open the bottles and just reprime it with granulated sugar. So yeah, that might have something to do with the reason why it's not particularly fizzy and not got a great head to it. Again, you know, you learn by these things. Ever since then, this is only the third kit I ever brewed. Ever since then, I just use granulated sugar when I'm priming. Now, I mean, it's such a small amount of sugar anyway, I don't really think it affects the taste too much, so I might as well just use the granulated stuff. Again, I should have mentioned this earlier, when I'm doing my calculations on the prices, I don't include the price of the priming sugar because it's so negligible. It's just no point really, is there, to be perfectly honest. So that's enough of me talking about it. Let's have a drink, shall we? Let's have a quick sip there. Smells a little bit like Carlsberg, but let's go and have a look. That's quite gassy, and not a huge amount of taste to it, if I'm perfectly honest. You get a lot of the initial, when you drink it, there's an initial fizz on your tongue. It's really like, almost when you drink like a can of Coke or something, that real kind of intense fizz, which is surprising considering, you know, the lack of head on it. Let's have another, going for another test, hang on. Yeah, it's not great, to be honest. I think in terms of you're running it to a commercial lager, you're probably looking a weak Carlsberg, probably. That tiny little bitter tang to it. Almost a... Almost a slight citrus taste to it, which is a bit strange. But yeah, like I said, it's one of the cheaper ones on the market, so it's not going to be brilliant. But, you know, I have used Brewing enhancer with it, to be honest. Might be something to do with, you know, me messing around and messing up the priming of it as well. So I'm going to give Geordie Lager... have another taste. 6 out of 10, I think. I'll be honest, I wouldn't brew it again. It's cheap, don't get me wrong. If you're really strapped for cash, then yeah, go for it. But you know, I mean, this is brewed on the 19th of November, so it's getting on for 2 months old now. It's not brilliant, I'll be honest. It's not a huge amount of flavour to it. It's quite gassy. You know, it's only 4%, so yeah, if you're going on a night out, you want to have a few drinks before you go, or you're going around having a party or something, then, you know, brew a couple of these up on the cheap, and, you know, it'll do the job. It'll get people, you know, people marrying up and dancing or whatever. But, you know, in terms of sitting in the evening and just having the odd one or two, it's not really great for that, I'll be honest. So hence why I've given it quite a low score. So, you know, it's not horrible. It's drinkable. You know, I'll quite happily finish this pint off, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, probably won't be brewing this again. You know, even with the Brewing and Kit enhancer, it's not really saved it. So I think there's definitely better kits out there. So yeah, you know, it could be wrong. You know, you might be up your street, and if it is, you know, give it a go. But for me, I think one batch is enough. I think, yeah, it's up to you really. It's so cheap that it's really not going to be that much wasted money. I mean, I picked this up for just under a tenner, so you can't really sniff at that. Then again, though, the cost of, you know, bringing the brew enhancer as well, it's probably pushed it up slightly, but again, still pretty cheap. So yeah, if you want some beer fodder, you got a few mates coming around, you don't want to use your best, then keep that in supply just to feed the troops. But yeah, I wouldn't go too mad on that one. But having said that, I think I'll finish this one off. So I shall see you guys later. Thanks once again for watching another review, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.